So when is Jack and Coke more than just Jack and Coke? Well, when it's good news. So welcome back to the 813 Whiskey House. I'm Corey, and this is Good Booze, Good News, where we drink some good booze and we tell some good news, which just means good stories. These of which, though, are true stories, not the ones that you tell after a little bit too much of the good stuff, if you know what I mean. So Jack Daniels, if you please. Let's talk about barrel proof, shall we? But before we do, let's actually talk about Jack Daniels, specifically my introduction to Jack Daniels. Mine was the same as I'd imagine most of yours, mixed with Coke, preferably in a smoky, dark bar. My bar of choice, Annie Mae's, and make it a double. Jack Daniels Barrel Proof, on the other hand, came out about 5-6 years ago, ballpark, something like that. And unlike the 80 proof of the old number 7, boom, these things come in at like 125 to 140. They are hefty. Oh, so much maple. And this is bourbon that fights you, but in a good way. Bourbon, Tennessee whiskey, bourbon, Tennessee whiskey. Let's go with Tennessee whiskey. So in ways that the old number 7 isn't, this isn't a mixing bourbon, although you could make a killer Jack and Coke with this. This is sipping whiskey. It's big, it's bold, it's maple, it's got a little bit of nut and banana. And if you like banana nut bread, this is right in your flavor profile. Whew, so good. And it just sticks. Yeah, it's whiskey that you can feel. Your store's probably doing picks, or your area's doing picks. They're widely available. And for the price point, this is just really, really good booze. And the good news, of course, is that you can actually find it. So let's talk good news point number 2, and that's the Coke part of the story. A year ago this time, right as the pandemic was starting, we were in wash your hands mode, not don't ever talk to any other human beings within 6 feet mode yet, but it was coming. We went to Panachel, Guatemala, and teamed up with Porch de Solomon on a humanitarian mission. Now, Guatemala is an incredibly beautiful and inspiring country, and at the same time, it is ravaged by poverty and inequality, something that Porch addresses through building projects, child nutrition initiatives, as well as a free clinic. We are on a team building a house for Marta and her 2 daughters, Ingrid and Roxana. Marta is a domestic abuse survivor, a single mother. And in Guatemala, those are 2 major obstacles to overcome. And Porch de Solomon was building her house because she didn't have simple things that we take for granted in America, like windows in her home and a door that locks to keep her family safe. On the 3rd day of the build project, Marta stopped the build and brought everyone ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now, for a woman who makes only $40 a month American, this is a major thing for her to share with us. And I've rarely seen more true joy on the faces of both our team and Marta and her family than sharing a Coke on a Guatemalan hillside. Our flight out of Guatemala the following Sunday was one of the last flights in or out of the country before they shut down the airport due to the pandemic. In fact, we're lucky that my Spanish immersion class didn't start immediately due to the fact that we were not going to be able to travel out of the country. Our families were happy to see us. We were, though, disappointed because we were the last team in or out for Porch de Solomon. Luckily, their team finished the house for Marta, Ingrid, and Roxana, and in addition have been running free clinics as well as nutrition initiatives throughout the pandemic. Porch de Solomon, fantastic people, fantastic good news. So here is to you. That's a lovely pour, Jack Daniels. So here's what you need to do. Share good booze with good friends whenever you can, and share good stories. They're out there. Just take the time to find them. It's been Good Booze, Good News. I'm Corey. Make sure you hit that subscribe and like button and share this with your friends. We'll see you next week.